What's up, guys? Brownie Bits here, and I'm joined today in the world of Odium by my good friend and Aussie M Wallace 142. How are you doing, my friend?
I am very well, Brownie Bits. I'm running around crazily because I have not been on the server lately, and I am overwhelmed with excitement and exuberance today. So, unfortunately, this Aussie is not going to be attention deficit disorder Aussie, ADHD. I don't know. Anyway, something like that. How are
So
you, mate?
I'm fantastic. I am fantastic today. So we're over here. I've seen your builds, but I haven't actually showed them on camera yet. So you want to kind of talk about what's going on over here?
Yeah, well, welcome to my to the I guess the workers' village over here in
Ooh.
Snifel. This is my collection of turf roof houses. So this is pretty traditional Nordic, Northern European turf roof house design, where they used the sods of dirt and grass to basically act as sort of roof insulation from the cold. And of course, they became their living roofs. So the
Mm-hmm.
grass and all those types of things would
Oh
actually
yeah.
grow. As long as you didn't get a tree, you're usually pretty good. Um, there's some
That'd be
great
pretty
great examples
unfortunate.
of where it runs down and where some of the roofs had become run down, and yeah, they had yeah, you can tell because they have trees sticking out of them. So
Huh.
no, as long as you can avoid that, then yeah, it's pretty good little
Yeah.
design. But yeah, so I've got four of these houses, five of these houses built. Losing count of how many houses I've built. And they're all basically the same design, except for the fact that I've varied where the entrance is. So
Mm-hmm.
some of it's at the end, and some of them it's on the side, and then some of them have effectively this little annex off to one side of either on the end, like this one
Oh
here.
yeah.
So like
Okay.
little annex, and that's sort of reflected the fact that this point in time when these types of houses were being built, there was a lot of like peace industry. So it was like people would work in their own homes. There weren't any factories or anything like that, so they'd have like a little workshop in their house where they would make cloth or tools or things like that. So there's four of the five of them have this sort of little annex, and some of them, as I said, are on the side and some of them are on the end. But yeah, just trying to, like, I guess, have a standard template for each of the houses, but then vary it up in terms of some of those little aspects. And then we have this river that runs between all of them, or most of them. And I've actually just started doing some terraforming here, and you can see this ugly gouge I've made into the landscape. Which
Yes.
will soon hopefully be a beautifully landscaped flowing river that links up these two sort of, this river ended over here at this spot over here where this floating glass is, floating ice is, and
Okay.
then the other one was over there where Nerd has his waterfall coming into the actual river itself, which is actually only just saw that waterfall that Nerd had done. I have to say, it looks fantastic.
Oh
I loved
yeah.
his last video and his time lapse that he did. It was pretty awesome. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
It's pretty awesome. Yeah. So these houses are very similar to actually the last project you and I worked on together, um, in uh, in Salem. We
yeah,
had
we did
those
that's right. We
houses.
did and actually that was the last time I built houses. I haven't built a house since then, and that was one thing I wanted to do this time. Is I sort of went a bit house crazy and spammed them around everywhere, and yeah, glad I did. This is
Yes.
pretty awesome. So,
Oh yeah. It looks
anyway,
fantastic. Looks great. You
so
got a
we're going to be
great.
getting onto some building, aren't we?
Oh yeah. So let's go ahead and head over there, and we will meet you guys on over there. All right, so we are back here at my little church thing, which obviously hasn't changed since we
Little
last saw.
church thing. That's hilarious. That's just please. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Well, so the whole idea of this is that it's kind of like a seminary, a missionary um, thing. So what I was kind of thinking was that we have a now I'm just kind of laying out a very rough design here. The dimensions are not going to match up, but we have this grand kind of entrance type of deal here. And it's probably going to actually be more of a rectangular shape than a square shape. but you get my point here. And then we'll
Yeah,
have
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of wings coming off on either side. And one thing that I did want to do, because the church itself does not have wings on it, and a lot of like what I would consider a cathedral to do is actually have wings on it to make it in the shape of a cross.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the religion I'm coming up with has nothing to do with Christianity, but I still, that's kind of a religious symbol, I
Yeah,
guess you
yeah.
could say. So,
Yeah, well, it's also an architectural touch point for any of these projects. I think that's the thing that and I've been asked that question before a lot, is that, there's a ways you can take inspiration from religious, architecture, because particularly for a long time, religious institutions were the be all and end all of architecture. It was either churches or mud huts, and so yeah, you
oh
can
yeah.
definitely do that. I think that's entirely appropriate.
So, this is kind of what I'm thinking. We have on or on the three sides that are kind of behind the church and not facing the front of the church. I'm thinking we have like long halls, where we can actually put like maybe bedrooms or classrooms or the like different rooms in there. And then we have this short entrance here, which is more of the entrance into this building itself.
Okay, yep.
So that's kind of my whole thought process. And then if I remember to, I'll post a picture of the building that we're taking inspiration from.
Yeah, I'll do the same here. And hang on a second. And cue photo now. Oh, well done, future expert YouTubers. We are inserting. Oh, sorry.
I'm just feeling it right now. I'm going to get a comment. Hey, Brownie, you didn't actually post the picture.
Yes, I never do. I never do. That's why I wanted to just highlight it, because I knew that would be an ultimate fail. Anyway, okay, cool. Well, that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to follow the palette that we've been using on this province so far, with primarily an oak structure, or do you want to draw upon the stone for this? What are you thinking?
I am thinking the base is going to be stone. I'm thinking we want some sort of structure. And I want to do it a little bit differently than what I did. So I kind of want it to be like this, where the oak wood would be your base. So it's actually one little block out, so it kind of shows kind of a footprint, per se.
Yeah, I like that, and that's good, because it'll also the color will help break up at the very base. Because when you're walking around in Minecraft, you see these sort of first four blocks the most. That's where the eye tends to be. So having that sort of out by one, and then in a different material, I think that'll work really well. No, that sounds great.
And we can even, like, if we decide to, we can even do something like this where the stone bricks that we have are 2 blocks tall, but still stationed out a little bit. I think that shows kind of more of a steady, a well-formed, like, platform to sit on. Very structurally sound feeling to me. So that's kind of where I was thinking with that.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, well, let's get some work done, and I guess we'll come back and show everybody progress updates, and show everybody how super efficient and productive, and in no way being distracted by having chats and all of a sudden realizing that multiple hours have passed and we've done nothing. Yes, okay, sounds great.
And cut.
Okay, Brownie.
Oh yeah.
What are we doing? We've been building.
We've been building some building here. We've done a lot.
And then there was building.
And then there was building. So you've done most of this while I was gathering some wood.
My hands are dutifully at your service to make your vision become reality. Oh my god, I couldn't even get through it all. Sorry.
Well, I think we've got a pretty awesome shape here, and we've kind of come up with a little bit of what I would call a pretty interesting and eye-pleasing design, because we have several different layers here. So as far as depth is concerned, your eye is going to be very pleased in that. It's not going to be one big block of oak wood. So you have many different layers here, and eventually I think we will make it a little taller than this with a bell tower of sorts.
Yeah, yeah. It was either like a bell tower, or you could even have like a stage tower, a step tower as well. There's a few different things you could do there. That's the thing about this type of build, is that there's a lot of design options once you get the structure right. The hardest part is getting the structure right and getting it proportional, like you've done with your building, with your church, your cathedral. Yeah, that's the hardest part. Once you get that right, everything else sort of flows okay.
Oh yeah, and I
Okay.
think I think we found a pretty significant build here, or a pretty significant shape. All right. The other thing. Ah. Well, actually, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That
Yeah,
brings us
that's
up to
looking
that.
really good. I'm just gonna see if I can activate my elytra. Don't hold your breath. And no.
Oh darn. There,
And
there is this
no.
wonderful mountain over here.
It will not activate for me at all. Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, you could propel yourself off the top. Oh no.
Oh, we're flying. We're flying.
Woo!
Yeah, that's really good. I have to say, I'm very pleased with that. You're right. It's quite pleasing to look at. It has a very, it feels like a complex. Like it's not just a single building. Like lots of different things are happening in there, which of course aligns very well with the seminary concept that we're sort of basing this on. And yeah, I think yeah, you're right. There's definitely opportunities for that tower at the top there. No, I think it's coming along. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We've actually done work. See, we're not just lazy YouTubers. We actually do stuff. We don't just talk nonsense all the time. We build things and talk nonsense at the same time. That is our talent. Uh,
And
yeah.
we we
Okay.
we didn't get sidetracked really at all during that time either. So that was
We
fantastic.
didn't. I'm actually slightly disappointed in us, to be honest. But anyway, that's another stuff.
The last time we did
Um,
get sidetracked,
Oh,
I
we
think it's
massively so. I thought to myself, no, look, we'll get some stuff done here. You know, it's early morning for you. It's late at night. Let's be productive. Let's get lots of stuff done. And I have to say, this I'm finding this particular province to be very inspiring.
oh
There's
yes.
so much interest in the Nordic sort of environment. The way in which they responded to the challenges associated with the weather, and then
Hmm.
obviously the religious elements. You've got the Viking and inspiration as well. There's a lot of stuff a lot of inspiration, a lot of things to play with, which is very exciting. Let me see if I can fly over here and land on my bed.
This has a beautiful ability to kind of change with the times, I guess you could say. There's like obviously Nerd is doing something completely different from what you're doing. Um, Iceland Queen, who we added at the perfect time.
Oh, that could not have been timed better.
It really couldn't
To be
have been.
completely honest, that was just like, and especially on the language side, like I kept going, okay, well, how on earth are we going to come up with a name for the province? Oh, I know. Let's ask the person who lives in the region.
Hmm.
And yeah, just this huge number of suitably Nordic names just started coming out of nowhere, which was
Hmm.
excellent.
Oh yeah, and I think we landed on a beautiful name.
Oh yeah, it's Snifel.
So
That's and I'm frantically trying to get the AE combination letter that I need to insert into my video titles. Oh, that's apart from that, it's great.
oh yeah. All right, so I've extended the wings up a little bit into the actual shape that I'm kind of thinking to have
Yep.
their two-floor design, and oh man, this is definitely very cool.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
going to be an
liking it. I think that
interesting. Hmm.
yeah, that looks really good. I think the combination, having that extra. I think if we didn't, if this, you could very easily. I will get there eventually. You could very easily have taken just the second, like made it almost a cross shape, like we were talking about before about a lot of these religious buildings. Had a cross shape in
Ah,
terms of their structure, and have that second floor be like straight across. But the fact that we've got this sort of almost like a separate building or a separate area in the very center with its own little depth change as well. Yeah, I think that's turning out very well.
One
Pats on the
thing I'm
back all
thinking,
round.
yes, one thing I am thinking is adding this up a little bit, making this part just a little bit taller to kind of make it feel a little bit more grandiose.
Yeah, I agree. I think I guess there's a couple ways you could do it. You could just add to it, to the depth, like you're doing there. You could also take another floor in as sort of like almost the base of the tower. I don't know. There's a couple ways you could do it. Maybe you could just go up at that level like you've just done it there, and then go in and have like a larger
go
base
in.
that then would go into the table at the tower itself.
So we're thinking something.
No, I've landed in this side. Oh,
Yeah. I could launch from the ground, so I don't know what the issue is with you.
yeah, you know exactly what the issue is. You know.
I'm just
Stop-
lucky
stop
to be in the same country as the server, as well as
Oh.
having fiber. So I got to tell
Well, I
you
got the
though, fiber is beautiful.
Well, I got fiber now as well, and that has helped a lot. But yeah, I've had some fantastic server connection adventures in the past. Not this one's actually pretty good for me, but I've been in a situation where my client and the server have been 2 minutes out of sync, but still somehow connected. Yeah, oh wow.
I saw there was one video that you did from Biffacraft that was really
Yes.
bad. That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
It was so bad. It was hilarious, and because there was an element of desperation because I got for those of you who haven't seen that video, there's I was about 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half between my client and the server, and then of course it would all catch up, and a zombie had killed me, and it killed me right next to my bed. So therefore, I kept spawning right next to my bed, and therefore that's where the zombie was, wearing all my diamond armor and my diamond sword. And I went into a bit of a loop, a death loop, for about 20 minutes or so, maybe a bit longer. Yeah, eventually the relief and shock of actually getting all my stuff back was pretty, yeah. And of course, I'm expecting it to despawn, the zombie to despawn with all my stuff, and then just like, that's it. I would have just rage quit the server, but no. Oh, anyway, the joys of Australian internet. But I have to say, mate, this shape is looking fantastic.
Oh yeah.
This is really looking good. So
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. And then a bell tower on top of that last little piece. And
loving it.
I think we've got the idea going then. Oh,
Sounds
man.
good. Okay, well, let's get back to it. Well, I think some roof stuff next. I think that's probably the thing maybe to look at next. Sort of get an idea of what those shapes would look like, and then yeah, we'll get some more work done. So yeah, I think we'll cut it here, and we'll. You're literally hovering in midair for me.
Oh, am I?
Ooh,
Oh,
there you go.
there goes. There's the server response.
Yeah, it was great. I'm thinking to myself, how are you doing that? That is incredible. A hovering brownie in midair. That is insane. But no,
game mode
just-
creative.
yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay, we're getting distracted again.
Yes,
Let's
again.
go and do some more work. And again. And yeah, we'll come back soon. Okay, thanks, peeps.
And the roofing union has 2 new members. So
Oh,
yes, we've been roofing it out, and not in the sense of dogs. We're not dogs, so we're not barking. But I think we've got a pretty awesome roof design. I'm not gonna lie. We've
yeah, I
taken.
have to say, I think it's turned out a lot better than I was concerned it was going to look like. I think that it wasn't that like these first 2 roofs that we've done here. I think that like this is pretty classic sort of A-framed roofs sort of at the entrance here. I'm just going to fly down here to the bottom, fly/drop with the these dragon heads that we've added to it as well, which are looking fantastic. These we've taken some inspiration from Crafting Mantis and her long house, which is fantastic, and they've got these designs, and that ties in quite nicely. But the challenge has really been in sort of interfacing the different shapes and directions of the roofs from each of the different parts of the buildings. That's been a bit of a challenge, I have to admit.
Yeah, it has been. And well, I feel like something's off over here, but that's just I'm just trying to make it kind of somewhat even here. Here we go. Okay, yeah, it's good. We're good. I'm
Yeah, no,
I'm
that's
just
even.
losing my
That
mind.
looks good. As long as we've still got some oak there that's coming through at that spot where you've been working,
Yeah,
I think the oak is important to sort of break that roof up because we've obviously got that roof goes all the way across. So we've got these. So we've added the wings obviously into the build, and with these wings now have the roof that goes across, and it goes pretty much across the entire build area, which looks fantastic and ties the whole thing together very nicely, and also is at the bit of a juxtaposition to these sort of forward-facing roofs, which are at the perpendicular to the axis of the central part of the building. So I think there's a lot of stuff happening here. I haven't done the dragon head on this side yet, but we have done it on this side, and I think that works well. I don't think it's like we were a bit concerned that this was potentially a little bit too far out and just fly up here and have a look. But I don't think it is. I think it's proportional to the build, which I
I
think looks really, really good.
yeah. Once we've kind of connected the two roofs together, we when we were looking at it, it was kind of challenging. Oh, I think did I mess this up? No, no, no. I'm good. I didn't mess this up. Okay, we're good. um, but yeah, when we first did it, it was kind of scary because we didn't have it kind of matched up and or connected, and so it
Yeah,
kind of
it
looked.
sort of ended. It sort of ended before we got to this central part here, and so we were looking at these dragon and the sort of tapering of the roof, and it just it felt out of place. But as soon as we've connected it up to the central sort of area here and had this sort of the roof, run basically from wing to wing, it's all of a sudden starting to make a lot more sense. So yeah, I think that looks really really good.
It definitely works a lot better than we were originally expecting it to. So
Yes, that's right. Yes,
fantastic,
exactly.
fantastic for sure. There we go.
And so there is an opportunity here, I think, at well, we've got the base here for the central tower. I think this is where you're the
Yes.
area here. Yeah, and I think I'm actually thinking that maybe we don't want to necessarily do too much of a roof around that. I think that wants to feel like it's coming out of the roof, and so I think if we take too many of the spruce stairs and like work them around like that, I think we're gonna lose that effect. I don't know. What do you
I don't.
think?
So what I was thinking originally was going to be something. Whoops. Was going to be something like that, and then we would do yeah, like that.
Yep,
And then
I
we
get
would
that.
have our bell tower somewhere in the middle or somewhere, off center, maybe back towards the back a little bit.
Yeah, we have certainly placed a lot more weight on the build towards the back, thanks to this second floor, which has sort of got a two-part build area, and I think that makes sense. I think that works well, but and I think if we place actually we can probably put a slab right there on top there. Yeah, okay, cool. Yep, that works. Nice. See, we look at this. Some live action here. Live roofing
Yes.
action. Okay.
Now I think what would also be pretty darn cool is if we did the whole, uh, one out, one up, one out, one up on this as well. So,
Okay.
oh, I'm all out. Hup, hup. Okay. And then we do something like that. Oh, nope. One more. Add one more. There we go. Now that's a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
then
agree.
we kind of have
Oh,
that
and I
whole
fell.
shape.
Oh,
Oh
brownie.
yeah. Oh man.
Oh, brownie.
Did you fall all the way down?
I fell all the way down. Through to the center.
I
While I'm down here, I'm going to light some of this up because now we've put a roof on it. It's like, it's pretty dangerous looking down there. But anyway.
Oh yeah, we have one of my famous mob Mob
You're the
spawners.
famous brownie. Well, it wouldn't be a M Wallace 142 Brownie Bits Gaming collaboration. There wasn't a accidental mob farm created in the process. So there we go.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I think that looks really, really good. I think that ties in quite well.
I
And
love,
then,
and I want to say, I love the fact that if you're looking at it, this roof feels off center to the main part. And I just absolutely love that because it adds so
Yeah.
much more depth and interest to it.
Yeah, I agree. I think like I was just talking in a video that I was recording for next week actually, recording a bit ahead of schedule.
Ooh.
Bit of a YouTuber boss hashtag YouTuber boss. And about the fact that start with something that's symmetrical in terms of the build design, and then add pieces to it that make it asymmetrical, because the eye it's so easy in Minecraft for things to just be symmetrical because we build in blocks. But if that's not how the world works, particularly with buildings like this, because they tend to be a bit more organic, they tend to add things to them, as the years go on, and yeah, I think that makes it just makes it more interesting to look at. So, well, I'm just gonna fly in and do a bit of yeah, that's looking fantastic, mate. That is looking really, really good. I am very, very pleased with the progress we've made today. That is
Awesome.
great.
Very, very
Well,
cool.
and you've got a great viewing platform up here too, by the way. That's why you built this, right? You built this just as a viewing
Oh,
platform for our
yes.
work.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
exactly why I
thought
built
so.
that.
It's even a better spot up the top there on those towers. I'm going to quickly. I'm starting to procrastinate again. Have you noticed?
Yes, I noticed.
It's after midnight here in Australia, and you can tell. Yeah, mate, that is really, really good. That's such an interesting build. So yeah, I think that looks really, really good. And I've started cutting in a few windows just at the very tops of the tower, and also in that A-frame to the just above the entranceway. And I think we could cut a few more sort of just two high, one wide windows in different spots
Oh,
around
yeah.
the floors of the actual wings themselves and things like that. And I think it'll look really, really good, because that's certainly from everything I've sort of looked at, that certainly seemed to be those sort of narrower and taller windows seems to be the most common design used in things like churches or seminary buildings or anything like that. So I think
Yeah.
Mantis has even got like three high, one wide windows, and I think that's definitely something we can add to this as well. So, and there you go.
There we go.
While I've been talking, you've been productive, as it should be. We're going towards our strengths here. We're working towards our strengths. I like it. I like it a lot.
I
I'm
think
here
yeah,
flying
oh,
around,
man.
burning through rockets, and here you are designing an awesome looking roof. Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, we just need the dragon head on the other side, the other wing. But yeah, this is definitely cool. I like the back, and I think one thing, because the original picture kind of has a dome at the back, a little domed area, and I might
Yep.
come back and do something where we just have like a small little outcropping, maybe an extra little room on the back end to kind of make the building feel a little bit more, I guess, finished at the back.
Yeah,
'Cause
if
the
it's
back
more
is definitely
three-dimensional,
flat.
yeah, it is. And I think if you put the tower, like I was going to suggest, if we did any more of a that you've pretty much capped it at the top there pretty perfectly. But I think, yeah, something that like came out here at this sort of at the back here, and also added another shape. I think then like when where because I'm off in that direction. I think
Mhm.
past the longhouse, and so if we do roads and things like that, one of the roads is going to come along here, and it's going to see it's going to see the seminary from that direction, and I
Yeah.
think that would make a lot of sense to do that, to have that sort of dome or some other type of shaped building towards the back there. So anyway, that's great.
Awesome.
That is very good. Well, Mr. Bit, sir, I need to retire for the evening, and I understand you need to retire in order to go and earn a living.
Yes. Yes, I do have
So,
I have to work today, so I have to get some stuff done before I go in, but yep.
well, I think we're gonna. Well, then, I think we're huge progress. Huge
Yes.
progress, mate. That
we
is
have
looking
a building
fantastic.
now.
We do. It's amazing when you have two people working on a project like this. You can pick things up, so and get it all up and running and looking great. And I think it's what it is at the moment. The way I look at it, it's a great mix between what you've built already in terms of this fantastic grand church cathedral and what Crafting Mantis was working on for the Longhouse. I think, and that's basically what this would be. This would be a combination of those two things.
Oh yeah.
Sort of, locally oriented, still using the same sort of materials and architecture as the Longhouse, but recognizing it's a religious building. Got the stone in mixed with this, and yeah, it's looking really good, mate. So thank you
Awesome.
so much for letting me join you for this project. I very much appreciate it.
Well, thank you for joining me. I always do enjoy the little M. Wallace Brownie Bits collabs, so those are
mate,
always fun.
There's not enough of them for
Exactly.
here. If there were more Wallace / Bits collabs, and I think that might be something we do a little bit more regularly going forward into the future. But I'd also like to point out that despite the danger of the ground floor at the moment, or the lack of floor, and the lack of lighting that was in there, no mobs spawned inside the building during the making of this episode. Oh no, I was wrong.
Did we get one?
That's
We
a
got
great
a creeper.
We got one.
Oh no.
Well done. Well done,
GG.
Brownie. Accidental mob farm. Congratulations. Here you go. Here's some gunpowder. I picked up your gunpowder from before too.
That I threw away
Well
because
done.
I didn't have the space.
Oh, well done. Congratulations, Brownie. This episode is now officially complete. We can all move on with our lives, and everything is...
Yeah.
Well, that is it.
I love it. Thank you so much, M. Wallace, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye now.